There are quite a few tool enthusiasts out there who rely heavily on Amazon when it comes to buying tools. Many of them are always on the hunt for the most useful tools that offer the best value on a tight budget, even when some options can be a bit pricey. To make their search a lot easier, we've rounded up a few woodworking tools under $50 on Amazon that punch above their weight in terms of performance and value. Let's go ahead and show you what we've found. So we gave this ALAX PRO Circular Saw a shot, and honestly, for something under $50, it surprised us. It's got a 4-amp motor spinning at 3,500 RPM, which might sound small if you're used to heavy shop gear, but for weekend DIY cuts, or even quick trim work, it's right on the money. What we liked is how lightweight it felt. You're not fighting the tool, especially on smaller projects like shelves or thin boards. It's got that safety trigger, which gave us a bit of confidence when using it in tight spots. And considering it only costs around $41, that just adds to the value. Sure, it's not built to rip through thick hardwood all day, but if you're knocking out plywood panels or cutting up 2 into 4s for a garden bench, this one's a no-brainer. We didn't expect it to become a go-to, but it's earned its spot. We were working on a weird corner in the hallway baseboards when this little thing came in real handy. The Sacher contour gauge isn't fancy, but it's super useful. You press it against any shape, say a pipe or some uneven molding, and it locks that shape in place. Then you trace it on whatever you're cutting. No more guessing curves or wasting boards. It's 10 inches long and has a lock feature, which helps keep the shape steady while you transfer it. At about $19, it's a perfect buy for any kind of trim or flooring work. It's made from sturdy ABS plastic, so it's tough enough to get banged around in a toolbox. It works great for flooring, trim, or even tile work. We didn't think we'd use it much, but once we had it, it came out way more than expected. 3 SUIZAN Japanese pull saw. This one feels different the second you start using it. The SUIZAN pull saw cuts on the pull stroke instead of pushing like most saws. That makes it feel smoother and more in control, especially for detailed work. We tried it on a softwood plank and then on oak, and in both cases, it gave us a super clean cut. It's double-edged, one side for rip cuts, the other for cross cuts. So you're getting 2 saws in one. The blade is thin but sharp, and you don't have to push down hard. At just $44, it's an amazing upgrade for anyone doing detailed joinery or woodworking. That's great if you're working for long hours or need accuracy. It's handmade in Japan too, so it has that real craft feel to it. If you've never used a pull saw before, this is a great first one to try. We weren't sure about digital tape measures at first, but this E-Tape 16 totally made sense after using it for a day. It still works like a regular tape, but it gives you a digital readout on top, so you're not squinting or second-guessing. You get up to 16 feet of length, and it even saves a few measurements, which is helpful when you're bouncing between spots. The conversion button between inches and millimeters saves a ton of time too. For around $28, it's not just smart, it's really practical. It's made with this solid red polycarbonate body, which feels tough and easy to spot in your toolbox. It's not overcomplicated either, just tape and a few buttons. We used it while installing cabinets, and being able to re-zero and hold spots helped us not mess up cuts. Definitely not a gimmick. This one's smart and simple. Here's something we never thought we'd need until we tried it. The Hedgehog Featherboard helps keep your wood pressed against the fence while you're running it through the table saw or router table. But what makes this one different is how fast it adjusts. Most featherboards are a pain to set, but this one just twists in place with a spiral design. At about $34, it's a time saver that also adds a layer of safety. It's fast, and it actually stays put. We used it while cutting someone into 4s for trim, and it gave us better control without grabbing or kicking the board. That's where this tool shines, making things safer and smoother without slowing you down. If you've got a table saw or router table and do any ripping or edge shaping, this one makes your life a bit easier without needing a bunch of setup time. The DrillMate might look like one of those gadgets you'll only use once, but it actually solves a big problem: drilling straight holes. Whether you're drilling into boards, dowels, or even pipes, this jig keeps your drill at the right angle. It works with your regular hand drill, and there's a built-in base with angle guides that make it simple to go from straight to angled holes. We used it for building a shelf and getting those shelf pin holes perfectly lined up without a drill press. Priced around $39, it's a precision helper that doesn't take up much space. It's compact, easy to adjust, and really does help with control. Plus, if you're trying to drill into something that's curved or slippery, it stays in place way better than freehand. This one stays in our kit now, especially when we need precision but don't have a full shop setup nearby. Okay, so if you've got an oscillating multi-tool and haven't tried the Fein Starlock E-cut blade yet, this thing's a serious upgrade. We tested it on nails buried in trim, and even some old drywall screws, and it just kept cutting. The carbide teeth make it last longer than those regular blades that wear out after a few tough jobs. And for about $39, it's way more cost-effective in the long run. It attaches with the Starlock system, so if your tool fits that, you'll notice how snug and stable it feels. This thing handled wood, nails, plastic, you name it. Great for tight corners and detail jobs, especially when you're not trying to wreck surrounding materials. It's one of those blades that'll keep you from running back to the store halfway through a project. If you've been dealing with blades that dull fast, you'll feel the difference right away. When we first tried the GRR-RIPPER, it just felt weird. Like, why is this thing so fancy? But wow, it makes a huge difference. It's not just pushing the wood forward. It grabs from the sides, the top, and the back all at once. That gives you full control over your workpiece, which keeps your fingers out of the danger zone. It's only at around $49. We used it for ripping narrow strips and felt way more confident. The adjustable legs and the non-slip bottom really help you keep pressure on all sides, especially with thinner stock. If you've ever had a board wobble or kickback, you'll know how important that is. It's one of those things that makes you go, why didn't I get this sooner? A good table saw is great, but control is what keeps your hands safe. Now, we love tools that do one thing really well, and that's exactly what the HexScale ruler is about. It's a precision measuring tool with super clear etched markings, and honestly, the angles it offers come in handy more than we thought. You get common cuts like 30 degree, 45 degree, 60 degree, and 90 degree right there. It's built from aluminum, and yes, at about 29, it's more of a premium tool. Also, there's both imperial and metric on it, which comes in clutch depending on the plans you're working from. It's simple but super helpful for layout work. If you're someone who wants clean, square starts every time, this little tool should live near your bench all day. This is one of those tools we didn't think we'd care much about, but then it became a permanent part of our bandsaw setup. The Magswitch vertical featherboard, only at $27, holds your work down with magnetic power, which means no bolts or T-tracks needed. You just flip the switch, and it locks solid to your cast iron table. We used it while resawing some maple boards, and it made a huge difference in stability. It holds your stock tight against the table vertically, so you don't get that vibration or uneven feed that throws off your cut. The cool part is, you can move it around fast for different cuts without having to fiddle with screws. If you've got a steel table on your bandsaw, jointer, or drill press, this featherboard makes setup faster and a whole lot cleaner. We pulled out the Kreg R3 Jr. for a small cabinet fix, and honestly, this little thing is way more capable than it looks. It's compact, easy to use, and lets you make super strong joints without needing a huge setup. It comes with everything you need to get started: drill guide, depth collar, and even screws. You just clamp it onto your board, drill the holes, and drive in your pocket screws. We used it on some pine face frames, and it held tight without glue. The best part is how portable it is. You don't need a big shop to use it. Perfect for fixing furniture or building small shelves. If you've never used pocket hole joinery before, this is a great way to try it without spending a ton. And yes, the price is only $34. Isn't it cool? If you're into carving, shaping, or just having fun turning rough wood into something wild, this disc really brings the energy. We attached it to our angle grinder and tested it on an old log, and it just chewed through like butter. It's not for fine detail, but for fast material removal or shaping curves, this one's a beast at only 32. The tungsten carbide teeth hold up strong, and it comes with adapters to fit most grinders. We found it super handy for shaping edges on a rustic bench and removing bark on live edge slabs. Just a heads up though, you'll want to wear full gear because this thing throws chips fast. But when you're in that creative mode and want wood gone quick, it'll definitely get the job done. So here's the deal. This Bora Quickcut guide kind of acts like your miter saw without actually needing one. It's a 14-inch guide rail with angles built in, 22.5 degrees, 45, 60, and 90, so you can make fast, accurate cuts with just a circular saw. We tried it while making angled cuts for picture frames, and it was quick to set up. It's made of aluminum, so it's light but doesn't flex. You just press it against your board and go. The ruler markings are easy to read, and they're in both metric and imperial. If you're working on the go or don't have space for big saws, this one covers a lot of ground. It helped us measure, mark, and cut without switching tools. For something priced around $34, it delivers big saw precision in a compact package. This tool brings you back to basics, and that's not a bad thing. We used the wood scribe marking gauge to lay out lines for mortises, and man, it's just simple and accurate, only at a $32 price tag. You slide the stop, tighten the knob, and scribe your line. The cutter wheel is sharp enough to leave a clean mark even across grain, which is where pencils usually smudge or wander. It's all brass and hardwood, so it feels old school, but works like new. It's also great for setting consistent edge distances when building drawer boxes or marking joinery. Once you start using it, you kind of wonder why you ever eyeballed those lines before. No batteries, no screen, just reliable measuring that always hits the mark. This one's got some clever design behind it. The MYLEUS scribing tool isn't just a marker. It lets you trace parallel lines, adjust offsets, and even do arcs only at its small price tag of $13. We ended up using it for trim work where walls weren't quite square, and it helped transfer those weird angles straight onto the board. It has a rotatable ruler, adjustable pin positions, and even holds a pencil for you. The body is mostly metal, so it's not flimsy, and the adjustments lock down tight. Once we got the hang of it, this thing actually saved time we'd usually spend eyeballing or measuring twice. It's made more for detail or layout than fast rough cuts, but if you do custom stuff or tricky installations, this tool just earns its space on the bench. We've used this crosscut station from Kreg on everything from 1x boards to small plywood panels, and it feels like a mini miter station for your circular saw. You lay the board in, line it up, and run the saw right across, clean and controlled. It's got a built-in fence and hold-down clamps, which help stop the wood from moving mid-cut. The guides make your saw run super straight, even if you're not used to using one like this. For quick framing cuts or batch trimming parts, this one really stepped in where our miter saw couldn't go. It folds up small too, which makes it awesome for working out of the truck or even in a tight garage. We weren't expecting it to be this smooth, but it stayed in rotation. Oh, we forgot to mention, it's only at $37. Now this one's a durable little handsaw that punches way above its price of $19. The RUITOOL Japanese saw is a double-edged Ryoba type, so you get both rip and crosscut on one blade. The blade is flexible but tough, which is perfect for flush cuts or detail trimming. We used it to trim dowels and make tight-fitting joints, and it stayed sharp after a bunch of cuts. The beach handle feels nice and gives decent control, even for beginners. What makes this saw special is how easy it cuts. You pull instead of push, which feels weird at first, but gives you more precision with less effort. For under $50, it's hard to beat what this one offers if you're doing fine joinery, or just don't want to fire up power tools. So we wrapped up our list by testing this mini planer from Jorgensen, and it's exactly what it says. A small hand planer that's surprisingly effective for touch-ups and light shaping. We used it on an edge joint that wasn't quite lining up, and it shaved the surface clean and flat. The cutter blade was sharp out of the box, and adjusting the depth was quick with the front knob. And the price is only $16. It's perfect for smoothing edges, knocking down corners, or giving soft bevels. The size is also great for getting into smaller spots where a full-size plane would be clumsy. It's made of alloy steel, so it feels solid, and it doesn't slide around thanks to the good grip design. For finishing touches or light work, this one really holds its value. So those are our takes on the coolest woodworking tools under $50 on Amazon, each with its unique benefits and features. We hope this video gives you a good idea of the possibilities and helps you make the right choice for your needs. Let us know if you have any further questions or would like to share your thoughts in the comments below. And, as for everything else, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And hit the bell icon if you want more content like this on your feed.